Now it's time for some more expert advice. In the studio with us, we have Johan Meyer, who is here to shed a bit more light on the social side of what it means to be MSM.
How are MSMs perceived by the quote-unquote general population?
That is a very good question. With our constitution being very favorable since 1994 and favorable laws in our country, some of the most favorable in the whole of Africa and sometimes also in the world, we could say, one would expect that the general larger society would be much more tolerant and much more accepting of MSM, but we actually find the opposite. There was a recent survey done, and basically what was alarming is that the number actually went up of the number of people who perceive MSM in a negative light. The survey was done about 4 years ago, and then the number was around 53%, but the alarming thing is that number went up to 71%. So we see then that in society, the intolerance and not accepting gay people, or MSM then to use that term again, is actually on the increase. And that is quite alarming. On the other hand, though, you do see that there are a lot of people who are very open-minded and very accepting, not only tolerant, but accepting. One see that in certain communities as well. So it's this strange thing. It's almost like the divide between the group of people who are accepting and tolerant and the group who will probably never be tolerant or accepting is just growing bigger and bigger.
Then let's talk about some of the stereotypes that are associated with MSMs and how true they are or not.
I think and I'm hoping I'm right, this is only my viewpoint, is I think we have moved past quite a number of stereotypes that, an MSM must be effeminate male person per se, or must follow certain careers and do certain jobs. But I do think where the perceptions and the stereotypes come in is that MSM are still viewed as promiscuous, almost like it's something dirty that one should not talk about, and that MSM are only out for sex. It's almost as if society in general do not view MSM as people, but as sexual objects. So I would think that is where the stereotyping is lying.
So where do you think the stereotypes come from?
I think it's coming from some religious viewpoints, it's coming from some traditional viewpoints, and it's coming from pure ignorance. Most of the people that you would find make comments about MSM as such, as what I said in my previous comment or remark, you would find that they have never even in their life spoken to a gay person or an MSM. They are not even aware of MSM or gay people around them.
Do you have any advice for MSMs who want to kind of break these stereotypes? Is there anything they can do to break these stereotypes? Is it even their responsibility to do so?
I think to a degree it is a person's responsibility, but when I say that, I'm going to qualify that a little bit. I would not necessarily say that people need to go out on almost like a crusade to make people aware or to try and break down stereotypes or change them. But I would say if each person in their own circle where they live can live out and proud, and more people can be exposed and can be sort of almost challenged in terms of their views or confronted with an MSM person, I think that would serve a lot and that would go far to break down stereotypes. It's only when we are going to live shy and afraid that we are not going to succeed in breaking down the stereotypes. Having said that, though, I think we should bear in mind that there will be a portion of society that will never change their mind, no matter how you confront them with what. And that's the picture that we are seeing. I mentioned earlier that I think the divide between people who are going to be tolerant and accepting and the ones who will never be, I think that divide is just growing bigger and bigger.